news and kudos to the Tinubu administration. This is core for them. And you know that anything that has to do with supply side, it's always good for economy, because when you have more supply, that means it will likely affect the price, and demand, will be lower when there is more. But it's a good news. 125,000 barrel per day. That could take maybe 5% of what we need day. Having the fact that the other one would take 2.5%, plus or minus, we are looking at 7.5 from 100% that we need. It's not a good
So Dangote is taking how many percent?
Dangote have what can even actually that is sufficient for, you can sufficiently supply Nigeria what we need every day. Should be 600 barrel or something. But the fact is just that 600,000. The fact just means that we need more supply side. For me, I'm not.
But as a country, is it surprising for you that we can't produce as much as what Dangote is producing?
Well, those refinery actually capacity is not that much. If you combine all the 4 refineries we have, I don't think we can do more than 22,000.
That's when Kaduna comes applying.
Everything work 100%. So, and we need 100%.
Well, for a country as blessed as Nigeria, I mean, since the 1960s, the golden days when crude oil was discovered, what did you think was responsible for us not even producing up to 50%? Till Dangote came to save the day.
I think we failed to plan ahead of time, and that's the challenge of not only Nigeria, but
who now? Those in the 1960s?
Exactly, those in the government, they failed to plan. When you see the numbers of your citizens and when you see the way things are going, even now that we are still doing more in terms of CNG, petroleum, people are moving outside, moving to electricity, moving to other source of energy, right? So, and we are still behind. So we must find a way to always think, for the future, and make sure that we do what you're supposed to do. Because now I must also remind you that those refineries you are looking at, they are old refinery. Dangote refinery.
So they are more of like refurbished.
Exactly. It's modern refinery that can have capacity to produce a lot of things. Some of them are even much more blending. They have to take this from this, take this from this, and blend.
I noticed in the reports there was nothing like, field refinery. It was more of like blending, which was the accusation for the old Port Harcourt refinery.
It's actually not bad to blend, but at this level, that shouldn't be what we are doing. Perhaps, the foreign refinery, one could be supplying, other things that will blend, but to still be within our refinery. But it's still a good news. It's a good. But for me, what I want the 3 combination. Why NNPC is producing, Dangote is producing, they should also allow importation.
When you mentioned that before we started the show today, I was a bit skeptical because, we should be a producing country and not an importing country. Does that make sense? Or I don't get it at all? You're the economist anyway.
In economics, we believe in competition. Competition will bring the best out of every.
But has it brought the best in terms of our local production, because that has affected the naira, the exchange rate?
We are just producing. We're just producing for the last 20, 25, 30 years. So, but if we had been producing and we have been jacking it up, and we have indigenous producers and we have importation, because I can tell you, there's what we call economic of scale, right? It is possible that the product you have, you still produce it in an expensive manner. It's possible you import, and the imported one is cheaper because of what they have available new technology. They have a lot of labor.
So how about supporting homegrown businesses?
That's the problem we are having. By this, you recall, even when Dangote came on stream, he has to employ Nigerians and send them abroad to go and learn for at least a year. If we had Warri Refinery, Port Harcourt 1965, up to now, we still have to send people to go and learn. Why can't they learn? That means we have not grown our technical capacity, which is a serious problem. So for me, I think I would like to subscribe to importation, private production, and NNPC production. It will help us a lot. A good example is America. America have about 132 refinery, but they still import. Saudi Arabia at this level still give room for importation. That simply means, and we must also recall, petroleum product or oil is a global product. So you can't say that they shouldn't import because it's a global, for instance, when there are issues of dollar, issue of foreign currency now, dollar is about 1,000. It had direct effect on the cost of petroleum products in Nigeria. And also, when there is a global change in petroleum price, it's general. We won't say because you're in Nigeria. Perhaps if that's actually work, we're supposed to say, okay, let us be buying at 400, because I can tell you that today, most countries that produce, we are still the one that is buying more at that